Hey, everybody. Welcome on in to Northwoods TCG. FOMO already in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. And thank you guys, everybody who's coming on in. As you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about Pokemon investment is about to get cooked. That's right. A lot of people are putting it out there. I'm just following suit, but I am going to give some reasons on some of the things I think are going to be cautious about, which is also going to lead in to my video this month or this week as well. So basically what I want to talk about tonight is going to be currently what's going on with a couple of the sets. Destin's Rivals Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes have come down in price. They've kind of stabilized about $245 roughly. They're about $260, but they have been kind of showing a little bit of downgrade, but there has been talks about a reprint of that particular set. Are we going to be getting cooked by a lot of this stuff? I think that if you bought at the top of the market, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But I think futuristically, given 3-4 years, I don't think it's going to make any difference. I don't think that there's enough product that Pokemon's going to print at this point in time for any of the current sets out there right now that are really going to make a difference. Now, if you did do pre-orders for like secondary sites for booster boxes and things like that, you may have some regrets to that, and I'll get into that a little bit later as well. Surging Sparks Elite Trainer boxes, some people have been pulling this up as a crash because they were up to about $113, and now they've all crashed all the way down to about $75, but for good reason. We just had a massive reprint of that. Went through Costco, came through distribution, came through a lot of different sources right now. I've even heard Walmarts and Targets are getting these ETBs, so obviously a pretty large reprint, but we did know Surging Sparks got a reprint. ETBs came with it. Booster boxes came with that. Haven't seen any sleeve like those tertiary products such as sleeve blisters, the check lane blisters, any of those 3-pack blisters. Haven't seen any of those yet with this set, but I am being told that 3-pack blisters are also on their way for Surging Sparks. So keep your eye out for that. But we are seeing a big retraction in the market currently on Surging Sparks as well. Some people are using that as an example of how the market's falling apart right now. Prismatic Evolutions, ETBs. I don't know why this needs to be said, but of course, price is going down. Are we surprised? I hope not, considering how much product we've seen of these ETBs come out at Costco and Sam's Club in the last 2 months. We are finally starting to see some effect of that. How much that effect is really going to hold, yet to be seen at this point in time. But we are down from our all-time high at release of about $150. Currently, we're down to $97 is the next one up for sale. So we are seeing a little bit of a retraction on that. We're under $100 again for this particular ETB. And once again, with the number of reprints that we've had with this particular set and the talks of even more on the way with the Prismatic Evolutions, once again, not surprised at all. Could this product see MSRP? I don't think that that's a realistic look at what's going to happen to Prismatic Evolutions. But even if it does, I think that that's not a bad buy even so. Futuristically, I think overall it's fun. People have that drive to want to open that set. And if it becomes cheaper, more people are just going to open it. When more people start to open it, that's of course going to eat up that sealed supply. And when the sealed supply starts getting eaten up because people are in the affordable range to open, well, it's going to go back up in price. And that's just going to be the reciprocating cycle that we're going to continue to see with a lot of these Pokemon products. So even with reprints coming on these, are you cooked as a Pokemon investor right now? No. I think that you're going to feel it if you are buying top market, weren't patient, weren't buying at least MSRP. You're trying to keep your values down as low as possible. I think that you're going to feel it a little bit when it comes down to that for time frame for when you'll recoup back to where you started. But I think overall that there's going to be some pretty significant changes coming up here in the Pokemon TCG in the next probably the next few months coming up, especially going into the Mega Set. People that weren't on the live or people that haven't heard, we are getting the 2-wave system, so we know some people are getting 60% of their allocation the first wave and 40% some of the allocation. Some are getting 40% on the first wave and 60% on the second. I'm getting 40% on the first wave, 60% on the second. It is what it is. We'll just work with it. Small guy, small fish out there when it comes down to my sales, so it is what it is. We just got to kind of grit our teeth and smile and just keep moving forward when it comes down to that. But we also have already been told by our distributors that we are getting a reprint of that, of the enhanced booster boxes as well. Not the regular booster boxes, but the enhanced one is getting a reprint as well, from what I understand. I could have it backwards. My distributor said the enhanced booster box is slated for a reprint coming up in November. So we are getting that release coming up here in September for the first wave, October, early November for the second wave. Booster box coming back around again with another reprint of the first mega set at the end of November into December. So we are going to be seeing multiple waves of those booster boxes. Now, whether the booster boxes are coming all out in the first wave and then they're putting the other products out in the second wave, that's still unclear. I'm hoping to get my allocations here for September. We're getting close enough. I should be getting my allocations, what it will be getting for sure in September. And then, of course, the remainder of what I was allocated will be going into October. I'm sure some of the bigger guys are getting that. They're going to continually just kind of play with mine just because that's how they've been doing everything. I'm supposed to get this, and then they pull that, and it changes every single month. But other investments out there right now. Early Scarlet and Violet stuff. If you got early Scarlet and Violet stuff, I think that you're in really good shape right now. I think you got some good value. I think overall we're not going to see any reprints. As they bring more printing facilities online, we're also potentially going to see that be an effect to which sets are they going to reprint. Is Pokemon International going to give them the newer sets, which in that case we might see leaks. We might start seeing 2-3 months before release, all of a sudden product being released out early that shouldn't be released yet. Kind of like what we were seeing at the end or through most of Sword and Shield, even up to Crown Zenith. People were getting Crown Zenith mini tins 2 months prior to the release of the set, which is another effect to whether or not Pokemon is actually going to go external printing, or are they just going to go, it is what it is, and we're just going to keep running allocations that we are right now. That's yet to be seen, but it's going to be really interesting to see how they do this, because once again, we've talked about this before on our lives and on other videos, that Pokemon likes consistency when it comes down to printing. Whatever they use for materials, for like even rainbow rares and the texturing and that kind of stuff on one card or one specific product, they will continue to use that through every single reprint. The material of the packs are the exact same material. The card stocks are identical in card stock. They try and be very consistent from lot to lot, from reprint to original release, so that someone can't just look at a pack, pull 2 packs of something and go, grab, like, for example, this Crown Zenith. You couldn't go through a box of Crown Zenith and say, no, this has got a different pack than this one. No, they are all consistently made with the same materials, so that you can't tell the difference between the first print run and the last print run. And that's just been the consistency of the Pokemon TCG for years. So is that going to be a factor? Are they going to be giving the older sets? So a lot of people are predicting, with new printing facilities supposedly coming online, that we may be seeing some other products coming in as well, or some of the older sets will be reprinted several times over. And is that actually going to happen? I don't know for sure if that's exactly what's going to happen, because once again, if they can't have that consistency, then we're going to definitely see maybe newer sets, Pokemon continuing to print the old sets. Is the market going to crash in general? I think we will see some retractions, especially of the older sets. All of those are on the table for a reprint at this point in time. So if you've purchased at the top of the market, hoping for that investment, hoping for that long-term piece that you're looking for an investment side of things, I think you could be in a situation where you may have to cost dollar average out of it, like we've talked about before, even on the lives and on the channel. That's a good opportunity to work your way back out of it, is by cost dollar averaging out of that. And that way, if you did buy something for, like, example, Destin's Rivals, if we bought a booster box at $350 and they go all the way down to MSRP, buy them at MSRP and buy like 6 versus 1, you're going to cost dollar average that down out, where you're going to be able to absorb some of that. But the problem is that it does take money to do that. So that's another complication that you have to take into consideration if you're looking at cost dollar averaging, is that you have to have a little bit of a budgetary backing to understand that you're going to need to use that in order to dig your way out of that sometimes, to bring that price down to where you may be able to sell earlier, or at least start to see some potential gains. Overall, investments are not always just going to be that short term, I'm going to make money the second that I buy things. And that may be something that we could see here with a lot of these older sets. So is this Horizon just asked, is the crash finally here, or clickbait? I'm excited either way. We are starting to see some retractions in some sets. We're getting some reprints. We're getting some product out there, and the market is starting to show some of that crack and fatigue when it actually comes down to that. Surging Sparks right now, ETBs, of course, Sam's Club just got a massive reprint of these ETBs. They did come out on, of course, Amazon had a bunch of them, Target had them up, Walmart had them up. They're in Walmart stores from what I've been told. Our distributors sent out these Surging Sparks ETBs, so there was a large allotment of these ETBs that hit the ground running here in the last week, and we've seen it on the pricing of these particular ETBs as well. We went from about $107 for these ETBs back in the end of July. They kind of dropped down to $90 as we were getting reprints of Surgic Sparks. And if you want to talk about a crash right now, you know, if Team Rocket Joey was here right now, he'd pull this as an example of how the market's crashing. But it's just because of the fact that we're getting a ton of reprints on these particular products. So once again, we're seeing it go from August 10th, it was $96. These reprints just hit last week, so now we're all the way down to $75 for these ETBs. So once again, we're seeing some retraction just because products hitting the ground. And as that goes through, as it flushes through the system, as that works through the digestive tract of everybody out there right now, when they see a ton of product, of course, the prices have to drop in order to maintain cash flow. I think it's going to be short-lived on some of these products, but even if it's not, long-term, I don't think people need to be really concerned about it when it comes down to the overall performance in the Pokemon TCG. We've had history now for several years that it doesn't really make a big difference like that on that part. It's just a matter of it takes time for the market to digest that product when it hits the ground, hits the stores. It takes some time to go through the system, get worked through, and then once it's processed and people start opening more Surging Sparks, you're going to see Rippers start opening more Surging Sparks because it's cheaper, more readily available. The other thing we got was 6-pack booster bundles as well. A Surging Spark showed up at GameStop, so there has been a resurgence of those particular ones. So we're definitely seeing that part of it, and we're definitely seeing those kind of changes to the pricing in the Pokemon TCG. Same thing, Prismatic Evolutions. Is it a crash? It's not a crash. We're just getting so overwhelmed with some of these ETB products that we're actually seeing some really big retractions in the market currently at this point in time. And now on Walmart and Target, the surprise boxes have hit several times now. So there's been a lot of surprise boxes from the Prismatic Evolution sets. There have also been the poster collections just hit as well. Big release. And then, of course, now we also had that Tyranitar or Lucario Prismatic Evolutions box just get released at Sam's Club as well, which if you guys tried to get that was an absolute effing disaster. I apologize to anybody that had to deal with that pile of crap trying to get anything through Sam's Club. It's amazing to me that Walmart, which is the same stupid company, has a actual waiting line where you get in line and you wait your turn. You can sit there just like Pokemon Center where you can work through that and get into it. But yet Sam's Club has the worst freaking website on earth that they don't have a queue. And then you can't process anything because everybody's trying to buy the exact same thing at the exact same stupid time. And it just bogs the whole thing down. Absolutely mind-blowing that they didn't have the same system set up. So yeah, kind of frustrating when it came down to it. Walmart had a release of the Prismatic Evolutions. I'm pulling them up right now to see if there's been any effect to that. Currently, right now, is the Prismatic Evolutions poster collections. This came up last night as well. I did get 2 of those, which I'm happy to get them as well from Walmart. So that was a nice little surprise that popped up as well. But once again, they came up really, really easy, really, really smooth, went through pretty well. Not any problems on Walmart. I will say Walmart's website is working pretty good when it comes down to that. They have the same system. I don't know if anybody has who's purchased through Walmart, but we've really seen some really good ways through Pokemon Center and also Walmart to maintain that queue, that line that prevents them from bogging down the system and also lets everybody kind of work through and also negates the ability of them bots to be able to purchase everything out before anybody gets a chance at it. So really good opportunities there as well. That's what happened on Sam's Club. I know that's what happened on there. Was a lot of it was just strictly the fact that we had a lot of people purchasing and it just bogged it down. So I'm pulling up the poster collection right now, and yes, we are seeing a retraction of that as that hit Target and Walmart. They were about $35 for that poster collection, or $30 at just back in August, beginning of August, end of July. And now, since those have kind of hit, we're down to about $27. Not a huge change on them. We're about a $4 difference, but still $4 in this market is quite a bit. I mean, that's still talking about a 20% decrease in value on them particular ones. So yeah, once again, we're seeing some good things. We're seeing some good opportunities currently still flowing through, meaning the Pokemon International is printing things. They're just not coming out in big droves. Another one is that we're getting information. I don't know. I haven't gotten any for sure. Is the Destin's Rivals Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes are getting a reprint as well. I heard that we're getting booster boxes as well from Distro. Says that we're supposed to be getting some booster boxes, Destin's Rivals. Whether or not it sounds like they're probably the enhanced ones again. So we are starting to see some booster box reprints. We are starting to see some ETB reprints. So I think that that's going to occur from like Surging Sparks on. We're probably going to see a lot of these reprints kind of keep rolling through. That's the kind of the thing right now. Is it sounds like we will be getting something from Destin's Rivals, whether or not it's the enhanced or the regular booster boxes, we don't know. That's once again, maybe it's just a distributor. He didn't give me a time frame. He didn't say, we're going to set up for pre-orders. He just said that he had heard that they're getting a reprint. So when he says to me that we heard that they're getting a reprint, that doesn't mean it's confirmed by any means. It just means that it's, that they're hearing rumbles from someplace in their chain of command that there's potentially a Destin's Rivals reprint coming, along with rumbles of possibly a Journey Together booster box reprint as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what is going on. Destin's Rivals booster box has no enhanced version. Oh, that's right. There's no enhanced. It's Journey Together. They're supposed to be doing one, and they don't know if they're doing the enhanced or the regular one on that. So, but once again, it's not, I'm not saying that's confirmed. Just to be 100% clear to everybody, don't go panicking or anything like that. Currently, nothing of that has been said. Yeah, we're confirming a booster box reprint. They're saying that they're just hearing that that's what's coming. But once again, it may be one of those things that we don't know. We don't know for sure if that's coming or not, or if that's going to be something that's for sure, that's confirmed. The second it's confirmed, I'll definitely let you guys know that say, yes, this is a confirmed reprint at this point in time. That's just the talks at this point. So just so everybody's aware of that when it comes down to where we're at currently, but it sounds like we are getting some things moving, some new blood starting to move a little bit. Pokemon's starting to pump on some things and try and get some things out, especially with the holiday season. One of my friends said, we were talking about that the other day, is maybe that's the reason that they're bringing on new printers as well, is they are trying to potentially get ready for the holiday season too. They're trying to mass print some things here. Maybe that printing company is just coming on for the specialty sets that they're going to be releasing over the holiday season, because we do have that Moltres box coming. So maybe they're printing that box and bidding that. Maybe some of these special, there's a lot of things coming right now for the holiday season that they're ramping up for, and maybe that's what they're making this product for as well. So there's a lot of speculation on what's happening right now. There's just a lot going on right now, and trying to keep up with it is just really, really difficult at this point in time. To really, really know for sure this is what's happening. I'm trying to keep everything that I say I know is happening is coming from like a reliable source, such as a distributor, or if I hear it from, an LGS, or from like Danny Phantom or Eli from Pokemon USA, or from Nostalgianomics, that I'm going through and actually talking to the distributor to see if I can verify that through either Southern Hobby or ACD at this point in time. So I'm trying to keep the information clean, trying to make sure you guys hear what's actually going on. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. We do know it's confirmed from distributor we are getting another reprint of the Mega set already. So the first Mega set is getting another booster box reprint, and that will release at the end of November into December. And that's above the 2-wave system right now. From Joey. No, I don't do much information from Joey, because when we get left our live on Sunday, he started his live, and some of the things he says is like, really, you're literally just pulling stuff out of your butt. You have no idea what you're talking about. Kind of like, what was it? Destin's Rivals, all the cards are mid. Straight from Joey's mouth, there is not a chase card that's not mid inside of Destin's Rivals right now. They're all crap. All worthless sets. All worthless cards. So don't even bother chasing them. Don't even look at Destin's Rivals. Don't even look at Destin's Rivals. It's just not worth going into it. So anyways, basically right now, market, we are going to see some fluctuations. I think if you purchase things at the highs, you're going to have to start kind of planning on adjusting for that. I think that we're going to be seeing some things coming through. What we're going to see come through is yet kind of up in the air. We are seeing still a lot of Prismatic still kind of rolling through the system. Poster collections, surprise boxes. I haven't seen any like those side products such as UPC or like the pouch collection, those kind of things. We're really not seeing the binder collections. We're not seeing any reprints on those at this point in time. Once again, you've got more of those outside printing items inside of them. So I think that kind of hinders or slows them down from how much they really want to reprint those, just like we've seen in the past. UPCs usually don't get any major reprints after the first couple of releases. Charizards might be the one caveat that you could say got a reprint, but it was really not even a reprint because I think they just kept printing. I don't think they stopped. They just kept going at that point in time because they were all kind of released at the exact same time. So it's not like they waited a year and printed more Charizard UPCs. It was all released at one point in time. It was just kind of a reprint in running. So they just continued to print more of that particular box when they did it. And they just like tripled down on what they originally were planning on for the release on those. So overall, we're still seeing some consistent growth on some of the early sets in Scarlet and Violet. And I think that that's going to continue at this point in time. And so that's where we're kind of seeing right now. Prismatics, I think, is going to just continue to kind of fall. Not a good case sample when it comes down to, you know, people are trying to pick out things that are crashing. And Prismatic always comes up on how Prismatic is just not a good set because of the fact that it's crashing, it's going down in price. But I'm just sitting here right now, and there were 7 of them listed at $97, and all 7 of those already sold. So even if they're getting down under $100 at this point in time, the sales are just going up and up and up. So right here, so those ones I just had on here were 97. There were 7 of them, and they have literally sold while we were talking on this live. So the amount of sales that are currently going through, it's a lot. There's a lot of sales going through right now. 2 just sold at 95, and now there's some listed at 97. So those are going to sell probably fairly quickly. So it's just, they're selling fast. If they're under $100, they're going extremely fast. So if that's the case and we're having that many sales under $100, they're not going to stay under $100 for very long. They're just going to get eaten up by this market as fast as they come out. Destin's Rivals Elite Trainer Box or Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box has gone down, slowly going down in price. Sales are dropping now since we've been hearing some rumors. I don't know the truth. I don't know how anybody knows what Pokemon Center is going to reprint, how they confirm these things. Pokemon Center, I can't confirm that. I'm just saying that there's rumblings that there's a Destin's Rivals Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box reprint coming, and the market is showing it. So the reprint being said, since August 20th, we were at about $250. And I mean, it's only a $2, $3 difference, but it is steadily going down like a $0.50 or $1 per week or $1 per every 3 days. So it's steadily dropping. Next one's listed. We got some that are going down even further. And then, of course, they go right back up to $300. So once again, I think people are just panic selling. People are just afraid that the hammer is going to fall. And I think that if you did your due diligence, bought things early, bought things at the right price point, were making sure that you weren't getting caught up in hype and FOMO. And once again, a lot of times when it comes down to your investment side of things, you just have to realize that you're going to miss things. There's risks, rewards to everything that's out there right now. Anything that you do in an investment, whether it's on Wall Street, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in anything, crypto, all of that stuff, it's a risk reward system. You have to balance out what you think the risk is of that particular purchase. So was it worth risking buying Prismatic Evolutions at 110? And if you costed out and really thought about it and said yes, you bought some. You went in and gone after it and thought that was a good buy. And that's where we talk about if it goes down to 95, why would you stop buying? If you thought it was good at 110, why wouldn't you buy it at 95? Just continue to buy it and your normal margins every single week. If you like Prismatic, buy it every week, right? You just buy 2 ETBs. And if the price goes back to 55, you started at 110, you buy 2. You're just going to cost dollar average and kind of work your way out of it when you do that kind of stuff. Just find a budget. There's 2 ways to invest. You can either take a gamble and put it all at one time. Say, I'm going to put $1,000 in the Prismatic Evolutions. You buy whatever you can for $1,000. You put it on the shelf, forget about it for 5-10 years. You're still probably going to be all right. Anything right now in the Pokemon TCG has shown that we've had very steady and consistent growth on all of that stuff. You can sit there and take a look at, any of the sets in Sword and Shield. You can go Sun and Moon. You can go all the way back through history, and they've all shown that overall, if you put them on the shelf, forget about them for 5-10 years, you're going to have value inside of them. I don't think Scarlet and Violet's going to be any different. I don't think the Mega Set's going to be any different. As long as Pokemon continues to grow and is one of the world's largest IPs, it's not going to make a difference, right? It's going to have value when it comes down to 3, 5, 10 years past the release date of anything. Look at Pokemon Go. Absolute junk set. Things going up in value. I mean, it's just a matter of time. There you go, Nostalgianomics. I'm helping you out on here, man. I'm giving you your Pokemon Go Pokemon Go plug here, right here on the channel. So we can even go to that. I mean, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box. Where are we at right now? $85. So, I mean, a year ago, you couldn't even gotten rid of the thing. Now, so let's see. December of 24, that thing was still $40. So right at the beginning of this next little boom, the price has gone up, and now we're at $85 for a Pokemon Go ETB. It really doesn't matter. If we keep doing this boom bust system of the Pokemon TCG, and now the next one listed is actually at $95. So you're going to be $95 for a Pokemon Go Elite Trainer boxes. So if you didn't jump in on them at $50, $40, but see, Nostalgianomics was right. You just got to wait it out. Be patient. Just let it all go. But everything, I mean, as it gets older, as we get further and further away from it, we're not even at the 5-year mark of a lot of Sword and Shield sets. I think Pokemon Go isn't even at the 5-year mark. I think it's only 3 years right now. So you still got 2 years to see how well it performs. Every set in the Pokemon and Sword and Shield, I think the only sets that are going to be Sword and Shield base set all the way through now getting into Evolving Skies and what am I thinking about? Fusion Strike, Celebrations. They're all getting up to 5-year here next year. So, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting close to it, but we're not quite there on those. Only sets are the first 3 sets up to Vivid Voltage right now are 3 years old at this point in time, or 5 years old now. Other ones are 4. You're in the 3. You know, that's, I mean, it's just a little bit of time. Just takes time. Some sets just take more time to mature than others, but overall, the Pokemon has shown that over and over again, it does well. Now, could we have a bust where everybody leaves the hobby? Yeah, I mean, that's always that chance, but I don't see that in the near foreseeable future. I think overall, my thoughts is that I'm willing to invest in the Pokemon for long term because I feel that the company's going to be here for 10 years. That realistically, if you want to look at it in the most bare bones version is, do you think Pokemon's going to be a company and be a very large IP in 10 years? If your answer is no, you should probably get out, right? You should probably get out of here and just run away as fast as you can. If you think if you think Pokemon's not going to be here in 5 years, why are you here? Why are you in here in an investment chat talking about investing in the Pokemon TCG? If you can't literally sit here today and say Pokemon will be here in 5 years, you shouldn't be investing in anything. Same thing with the stock market. Same thing with crypto. Same thing with real estate. You're not going to sit there and go and invest into something on the stock market that you don't think is going to be there for 5 years. Unless you're just being a day trader, and if that's what you're doing, it's fine. But if you're doing day trading stuff, but if you're actually legitimately looking at long-term investments in anything, if you don't think it's going to be there for 5 years, don't even bother investing. If you don't think Pokemon's going to be a company in 5 years, a large company still holding a huge market share when it comes down to TCG world, why are you investing? Just get out. Get out now and save yourself the trouble of threading it as you get close to that 5-year mark. I think Pokemon's going to be a very strong company for at least 10 years. With me feeling that, I have no problem investing. I'll re-examine that in 5 to 10 years. Where are we at? Is it changed? Is there something different? Is it worth continuing on in this path? Should I get out in year 8? Because I don't think it's going to last more than 15 years. You know, is it going to finally fizzle out? If that's the case, that's where we're at. Other thing is too is that people are going to always want to open sets, and as they get older, they kind of disappear for a little bit. But then as they get older, people are going back to them. A lot of rippers are going back to Sword and Shield right now because people don't care if they pay secondary market prices for Sword and Shield products at this point. They know they're not getting them cheap. They know nobody's getting them from distributors. They know people are buying them off the secondary market or hopefully getting a deal on some of these packs, and so people are willing to buy them now. People want to gamble. People want to open sets. People enjoy it. They get a hobby that they like to do. They don't feel like it's gambling in their head, but it is gambling at the end of the day. It's still gambling, guys. Whatever you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is, people do enjoy it, and they continue to enjoy doing it. Oh, once again, that's where we are right now in the rant. Do I think that there's going to be some retractions in the market? Yes. If they get especially if they get another printing facility fully online, we're definitely going to see some prices go down on these sets. There's going to be more availability to like your LGSs, your other stores are definitely going to start getting some online, your Rippers or all that are starting to get some. And that is definitely going to be a significant part of the Pokemon TCG here coming forward into the mega sets. We're already getting reprint information for booster boxes in, the mega set. So that's quick. We're printing more of this extremely fast. So once again, if you're looking at your booster box investments, cool your jets a little bit and let the chips lay for a little bit. You're going to have time on those ones for sure to see how that's going. So once again, we're going to go through the chat real quick. I'm going to go say hi to everybody, and then we're going to go ahead and start working down the questions. There are a lot of comments and questions in here today already, so I've only got it for subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel today, I do apologize. You got to subscribe and wait 5 minutes in order to be able to get in the chat. So if you do want to say something, you are going to have to wait for that. I think that you could probably do a super chat if you really, really want to get in the conversation. But yeah, you could definitely just wait the 5 minutes and then jump on into the chat. So you got to subscribe to the channel in order to get in the chats right now, just because as we're doing more live and I'm being more active on here, it's definitely getting to be a bigger lobby and a lot more people. I mean, we went from being like 5 to 10 people on live. Now we're up to like 30 to 40 people on live at one time, which is greatly appreciated to everybody. So thank you so much. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you are here, and hit that like button too. We see there's like 32 people in here right now. Hit that like button. We got 10 likes. Let's see if we can crank that up a little bit too. Help out the algorithm a little bit. So Horizon, welcome on in. Rish, thank you so much for being in here. Pokey Newfo exclusive. Sammy C in the house. We got Jordan in here as well. Blitzkrieg, is always greatly appreciated to have you in here. ELO, welcome back, my friend. Antonio, my number one mod, is in here as well. Thank you so much, Antonio, for being here tonight. OG Weedle Farm, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Going through Aaron Scott, thank you so much for being in here as well. Brandon in here with us this evening also. So I think I got everybody that's in the chat. So let's go back to the top. We'll start working through the chat here real quick. And I got two screens. So if you guys are talking, I've got the screen up over here and over here. So I'm going to keep this one where I'm on the questions. And if we want to go back and circle around to answers in the questions, I'll be able to see them. So if we do want to have a discussion on things, I am watching the other chat to be sure that I'm not missing the discussion that may be going on these. So Horizon just asked, is this crash finally here or is clickbait? I'm excited either way. Like I said at the beginning, we're seeing price reductions. Is it a crash? Not a crash. I think it's just because, once again, we're getting more product. More product is going to drive that product down. The more sealed product hits the market, the more the pricing is going to drop. Some people are going to nitpick data and pull the ones that are getting reprints right now and say, see, the market's crashing. But if you pull the large data set of Scarlet and Violet right now, prices are still continuing to move up at a very continuous rate at this point in time. Newer sets moving faster than older sets still steadily moving up due to the fact that we don't have sealed product. Now, singles are a completely different game. I'm not talking singles here. I don't do much with singles. I do sometimes go into it, but we do definitely see a different metric going on with singles, because singles are so new. Prismatic, all these sets are still extremely new. If it's not a 6 months to a year out from a set release, I don't even bother with singles because we don't know where that's going to be. And then even that, if you're looking back at like Twilight Masquerade or Temporal Forces, going all the way back into all those, they could get a reprint and those singles will change again. So, I mean, the sealed will drop and the singles will drop because there's more available. So this chat today is specifically on sealed. That's what we're looking at. We're not going to go into the singles market on any of this modern stuff for sure, just because there's too much fluctuation right now. Horizon said, is this crash just for modern or including Sword and Shield? Sword and Shield is not going to be seeing any kind of crash at this point in time. Everything that's going to crash or change is going to be in the Scarlet and Violet. Anything that's in reprint territory at this point in time. Rish, I was about to start vending. Hey, it's okay to go vending. Trust me, there's a lot of people that come out to these events and enjoy them. Coming out and vending is definitely not a bad thing to do. I'm looking at doing it as well. I haven't vended, for a long time, almost 2 years since I've even done any vending. So looks like I might be going to the Minnesota Card Show and maybe doing some vending there too. I'm looking at getting a table and getting set up. Be a little fun. Pokémon Flow exclusive 1X Surging Sparks booster boxes. Sammy C, any word on Destin's Rivals booster box reprints yet? No real for sure's, just rumblings that it's happening, and I've heard it from several places, including distribution, but once again, they have not confirmed. No confirmation on a reprint, just rumblings that there's one coming. They're hearing that there's a reprint coming, but nothing for sure. Nothing confirmed that I've been told yet at this point in time. Horizon, thoughts on investing in Sam's Club 14-pack bundles Or would another prismatic product be better? Prismatic UPCs, maybe. Prismatic UPCs, I think, will do really well. That's another good option to go into for the price point. If you could have gotten those Sam's Club 14-pack Tyranitar Lucario boxes, I think they're going to do really well. Look at Sea and Sky boxes. Look at a lot of the other products that are the same set formats. Have all done extremely well futuristically just because they do some massive reprint. You get a lot of massive grouping of them at one time, and then they tend to just kind of fizzle out and disappear. Sea and Sky, I think, got 2 waves of them, so we probably will see, theoretically, I think we will see another wave of those particular boxes come through. Would not be surprised at all if we did, but I think you might see 1, maybe 2 waves of that product, and then it's probably going to be gone. Prismatic Evolutions UPC is another one. We're probably never going to see a reprint of that. We don't typically of UPCs, so that's another factor as well when you're looking at those. Look at the products that aren't going to get very many reprints, because typically those are the more scarce products futuristically, and the more scarce the product is, the more likelihood that it's going to go up in value. Not always. Scarcity doesn't always mean in sealed product that it's going to be valuable. It just means that if it's a main product such as UPC, a booster box, or an ETB, if it's got lower print runs than other products in the same set, we tend to see it do better than the other stuff around it. And I'm going to state that, though, arrows change too. Sword and Shield booster boxes are a premium. Scarlet and Violet booster boxes are a premium just because they are very, very low print rates too. And the demand of those is still there for those particular products. PokeNUFO exclusive 1x DR booster boxes, 1 times the booster box, or Obsidian Flames. I'm just trying to get through how much, but the PC ETBs was able to hit definitely making the Scarlet and Violet investment worth it. Yeah, I mean, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box is doing well. Currently, I think the Obsidian Flames booster box, their ATB, Obsidian Flames, is almost $200. I'm just looking. I'm going to pull it open real quick, make sure it's not the Obsidian Flames. Pulling open if it's the Elite Trainer, or if it's the Pokemon Center one, or if it is the regular one. One of them is like darn near $200 even for Obsidian Flames. So yeah, the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box is right now $500. What? 800. Oh, sorry, 800. Almost 1,000. That's right. Sorry, I was thinking of the wrong one. $1,000 on that one. Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer box is up to $120 right now at this point in time. So we've seen some really good growth on both of them as well. Subscribe. Here's a weird product thoughts on 2022 spring collector chest. Yeah, you mean this one back here? So these just came back through Pokemon Center. So if anybody got in a queue a few weeks or a week ago or a week and a half ago, they had these come back as well. I'm gonna open one of these. I got 2 of them from Pokemon Center. Kind of curious to see if they got the Evolving Skies in them or not. Once again, guys, I try and always pull up the values when I'm talking about pricing on the live, so that way we verify that everything is where it should be. But yes, the Obsidian Flames right now, Elite Trainer box is now $120 for just the standard one, and the Obsidian Flames Elite Trainer box, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box right now, currently $810 right now on TCG Player. So over $800. Last one actually sold for $850. So we've got one even at $1,850, and then there was a damaged one that sold for $675. But we just had one sell at $850, $750, $725. So we've seen some sales right there, and this is all in the last day. So we've been seeing some good sales on that as well. The question is, do you need the money, or if you want to sell your to reinvest? Yeah. Sorry, I'm missing one here right now. Oh, he's going here. So since we're talking about Obsidian Flames, Nego Store says, I have about 12 Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. Would you sell now or keep? And should I keep the cases sealed or open them to sell? I would honestly sell cases, because if you look at the case value of those particular boxes, let's just pull them open real quick. I know I just saw them here. Here they are. So right now, a case value on those particular ones is almost $5,000 for the current one list. There's only 2 listed right now. One's for $10,000, one's for $5,000 right now. Last one looks like it sold for $3,600, and that was 3 days ago. So 3 days ago, they sold for $3,600. Sealed cases will usually For Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box stuff, we'll probably pull a little bit of a premium compared to your normal stuff. So they sold for $900 a piece in a sealed case just 2 days ago. So I think overall it's a better idea to keep them sealed if you have them in sealed cases. If you're going to sell them now, right now, with it being kind of a bull market on Obsidian Flames products, I don't know if I would be selling them personally at this point in time unless you need the money, or you find something that you think is going to be a really good reinvest that's going to perform better than that currently. Right now, for performance-wise, I would probably just sit on it because the overall performance right now has just been really, really good. So do you want to pull out of it now with it going up really high, or do you want to start over and, go into something else that may be a little bit high risk? So that's kind of up to you on what your projections are. Do you think it's going to continue to go up in value? I think that right now with the bull market on it, I mean, the next ones are 800. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you got 11, 12, 13, 14. You got 14 of them, and you're going to be at $900. So right now, there's not very many of them listed below $900, and they're selling a couple a day every day. They're going to disappear, and people are going to start adjusting prices as that continues to go up as well. So I would just ride it out for right now. The pricing is going up really quickly. The market chart's going straight up. I think you're good to... I would personally hold on to it unless I needed the money or found something that was going to be a really, really good reinvest when it comes to Obsidian Flames. Let's see here. I don't think they will reprint this. It might be the next team upset. I think we're going to see Destin's Rivals or something of Destin's Rivals, especially if they're bringing more printing facilities online. If they're bringing more printing facilities online, they are definitely going to be reprinting Destin's Rivals and Journey Together and Prismatic Evolutions and possibly Surging Sparks. I think we could see a large amount of reprints. Black and White's going to get hit too as well. We're going to see that come. Blitzkrieg, hey, PokeFam. Jordan, I mean, I sat at 1 minute waiting time on Walmart for 45 minutes. Never changed. Huh. Yeah, mine went through on Walmart. As soon as it came up on X, I jumped on it. When I jumped on it, I got through. I was probably in line for about 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and then I got into Walmart, and then I got 2 of the poster collections off of Walmart. So it did work. I don't know if anybody, I just tried to get the 2 myself. Once I got 2 myself, I got out. Online Costco has a queue line now. That's great. I wish that Sam's Club would do that. Destin's Rivals booster boxes has no enhanced version. I did see that one when it came through. ELO, Sam's was a bit slow. People found out bypasses and bought up a bunch. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard people were buying like 15, 20 boxes of them at a time through some kind of bypass trickery that they had. I don't know how they find this stuff out, but yeah, I heard that people were doing that. I also know bots were pretty heavy in there as well. Some people were complaining about the bot factor, that they were purchasing just as fast or way faster than any person could. So a lot of bots took off with that product as well, just sending it to different PO boxes. I mean, that's how bots work now. Actually, I saw a person on TikTok was doing a video that showed that they had their local small town post office had to add another section of the building for PO boxes because they had a guy that has a bot that lives in that town, and literally he bought or was renting half of the PO boxes in the building. So they just added on a whole nother section of PO boxes, which is absolutely stupid, because the second that Pokemon goes down in value or crashes or actually goes back to a normalized market, he's going to give up all those PO boxes, and now the post office just spent money to increase the amount of PO boxes in their building. And this dink has 45 of them or 50 of them out of the 300 or 400 of them they have in the building. So it was just one of them dumb things that's what these guys with bots have to do. They have to have different addresses, and they literally just load up the addresses in there, and the bot just goes through and buys 2 of everything on the website and tries to get through. The only thing that slows down bots is that queue, because they can buy 1, and then instead of just going boom, 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 they got to go back to the end of the line and then work their way through. So that's been a real slowdown for the bots. Doesn't work on everything. That just only works on the Pokemon Center ones, or Pokemon Center or Walmart or Costco at this point in time. There's the Dollar General ones with the display holder. Oh, let me see. Brandon just said, I have 4 cases of the 151 poster collections. Should I hold on to them? I'd hold everything 151 at this point in time. Everything 15, unless you need money. Once again, it just depends on if you need money or not. That's the real question when it comes down to a lot of things right now is investments, especially them older first half of Scarlet and Violet stuff. I would hold on to it because long term, you're not going to be upset with that. Let's see. I'm just watching for Fusion Strike booster box cases to go up. That'll be that's probably not far off. Antonio, if you look at it as a competitive set, it's actually a horrible set to gameplay. Which one's that? Destin's Rivals? Destin's Rivals has not been... I haven't seen much change for decks. A couple cards have been pulled out of it, but nothing really major at this point. Some things. Stoner Cat, welcome on in. Blitzkrieg, from looking at looks of things, $85 ETB will be the lowest on Prismatic. I think if it gets below 80, I'm going to be surprised. The amount of sales we see on it whenever it goes under 100, I think that people are going to lift it back to 100 fairly quickly. It's not going to last down under 100 very long if everyone just sells like that. I mean, let's just go take a look right now. Just out of curiosity, what has occurred to Prismatic Evolutions just while I was talking again? Has it changed? And the answer is yes. There's been more sold. So they are literally just selling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. 5 of them have sold just with us sitting here talking since the last time I looked. So as long as they go under $100, they just keep selling. If that continues, it's just going to keep happening. Are prices going down yet? I'm not buying anything till then. Prices are starting to go down on products that are getting reprints. We're getting some products with reprints at this point in time, which is causing that price to go down a little bit on some of them. Is it an overall market deal? No. It's really not all the way across. It's just in some parts at this point in time. Prismatic's down a little bit, still continuing to kind of fall with the amount of product we've been getting there. Surging Sparks is down. But yeah, you can go ahead and watch the beginning because I kind of recap a bunch of sets where we're starting to see them prices go down a little bit. We're going to go into, got there. Yeah, as soon as ones pop up, they get bought out. Everyone's sitting on Prismatic. Yeah, I mean, investors, especially investor bros, are just sitting on it. If it drops down, I think if there was someone to list them sub 90, they'd be gone instantly. So I don't think that you're going to see very many of them below $90 because they're just, too many investor bros are just not going to allow it at this point in time. Hey, Xavier, I'll get down to your question here in a minute. So yeah, it's not gonna. I think 85 might be a little ambitious. I think if it drops below 95, I'll be impressed. It just keeps getting chewed up immediately by investor bros. Hey Roy, how's it going this evening? Let's see. We got Just make sure I'm going through okay. Antonio, either way, if it falls or not, it will go up again. But depends on the set, will go up at different rates. Yeah, different sets will have different hype and FOMO, different chase cards. Chase cards will chases. The amount of print on it makes a difference. There's a lot of factors for how a set's going to perform futuristically. It's funny how people are getting mad on subtubers on investments saying people are panic selling and buying into inflation hype from 120 then selling now at 100. I don't suggest selling if you're at a loss unless you absolutely have to. If you have to and it's going to stay at a loss like Pokemon Go, I know I did a video 2 years ago when it first came out that if you bought into it, I'd get out of it, take the loss, because you could go, even with how much Pokemon Go has gone up now, you're still not comparative to if you would have just sold out of it and taken a loss, bought it at $50 in ETB and you sold it at 42, you got out of it, you took the $8 loss and you put that money into Lost Origins, or you put that money in the Brilliant Stars booster box, or you put that money into a lot of other things. How well would that have performed compared to Pokemon Go? Once again, even though you're in a bad set, some of them are just better to get out of them and walk away with the money and reinvest it into something that's going to have potential or is potentially doing well in order to get that value back. You can get the value back if you lose some money up front if you reinvest in the right places. 40 people watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Help out the stream a little bit, guys. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's see. We got look at Sword and Shield started to go up right at 5-year mark. Yeah, I mean, early sets of Sword and Shield are at 5 years, and they're all doing really well. Go back to Sun and Moon, 6-7 years. Doing fantastic. Overall pricing of those booster boxes absolutely going crazy, especially the older sets with the tag teams. The tag team sets are definitely going to be drawn. I mean, you can look at that at Sword and Shield. You can sit here and look at some of that. Even a lot of Scarlet and Violet is all going to be really sought after because of the Illustrator Rare, Secret Illustrator Rare faction that we have in here really, really good value overall in those cards to continue to do well. OG Weedle Farm Pogo is a sleeper. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd call that a sleeper set. I still think it's going to lag, just like Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze. Even Darkness Ablaze is actually doing fairly good now at this point in time. Not great, but it's still doing all right because it's a Charizard set. But I think that I wouldn't call Pokemon Go a sleeper set. I think it's always just going to lag behind. It just doesn't have the oomph behind it that people are really interested in. Blitzkrieg, the comments are funny. People are like, ooh, you're dumb. No one is panic selling. Haha, people dropping 15% of original. I know. It's continuous. But you got to remember, some of that is just because people need cash flow as well. So, you know, when you got something that's liquid, non-liquid, and we can talk about that too as an investment, is some people need to have a certain amount of cash flow always going through. For example, myself, every single month I need to have a cash flow of about $380. That covers all of my expenses. That covers my insurance for the month. That covers my websites. That covers my binder POS. That covers all of those things that we have going through for my business side of things. So I always got to have about $380. Now, if you're an LGS, imagine if you got to pay wages. I don't pay myself a wage. I mean, if I don't make money, I can make $400 a month. I'm not paying myself. I don't need to make money on this. This is just a fun little hobby. But if you have an LGS, a brick and mortar, you have to pay rent. You have to pay insurance. You have to pay employees if you've got them. You have to pay, you know, all of these expenses that come with this building in order to maintain it. Electric bill, water bill, gas bill. You know, there's maintenance on all these things that go into an actual LGS. That becomes one of them situations that you really could have a problem with. And once again, they need to keep cash flow. So if they've got something that's liquid, like Prismatic Evolutions, then they're going to sell Prismatic Evolutions that's liquid. If they got Sword and Shield and they can sell it quickly by going 10-15% under market value, they'll do it because it's cash flow. It's liquid. They can make money on it and still be liquid at that point in time. So it all comes down to the liquidity of some of these products as well. If you try and sell at max price or try and gauge the market to where you think it's going to be in a few weeks, sometimes it just doesn't sell. You got a rock and you're sitting on it waiting for it to become liquid and people are looking to buy. Blitzkrieg, well, Trunkachu is the only thing that has value in that set. Yeah, the Nessa card is also fair. The Nessa Full Art I do like as well. I think futuristically that card could gain some traction. But yeah, the Rainbow Pikachu is really going to be your only big chase right now in Vivid Voltage. So there's really nothing in it. Not even a Charizard or anything like that. Blitz, it's all about value anymore. It sucks. People still rip because they love to gamble. Yes, they do. People always love to gamble. Brandon, I was buying, well, and some people just like enjoyment too. For myself, I like buying into rips when I do, just because I enjoy opening Pokemon cards. And let's be 100% honest. Sometimes it's just fun to support someone and get in on some rips. So sometimes if you support a channel and you want to help them out and you're going to buy the packs anyways, why not support someone that you know, someone that you enjoy their content, and go and purchase in on them and support them by doing it. So some people just do it as a support factor as well, just because they're going to buy cards anyways. They're going to buy packs to try and find their favorite art or their favorite card or take a chance at an SIR. And some people have even me, I have the superstition a lot of times that someone else opens it. Their tendency is that they may hit something better than what I could hit. My luck for myself sucks, typically. Sometimes I get lucky, once in a while. Brandon, or Braden, sorry, no, Brandon, yep. I was buying when nobody was 2 years ago. I love the franchise and still will years from now. I've been in and out of the hobby since it came into the United States a long time ago. Yeah. 2 years ago, that's the funny thing is 2 years ago, everybody said Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet sucks. Sword and Shield is the best. Nobody's leaving Sword and Shield. Alternate arts are the best. Nothing's going to change, blah, blah, blah. And that's always going to be there. People are always going to have that feeling when it comes down to Pokemon. And, you know, that's error changes. Those things all happen. Will it happen in the mega sets? I don't know. There's a lot of hype and FOMO running this one. Because when we ran from Sword and Shield into Scarlet and Violet, the hype wasn't necessarily there anymore. It was becoming more of a normalized market again, where the prices were just staying pretty steady. There was good investment opportunities. Pricing was going down and becoming more reasonable going into that 2023 period. And that was one of those 22 to 23. We were seeing kind of a normalized market. Yeah, there was excitement and hype, and people really, really did like the alternate art sets and the trainer gallery sets, but it wasn't nearly as fast. Scarlet and Violet, yeah, I was one of them. I've been buying Scarlet and Violet since the day it came out. I've been investing and I've been putting it away because you could go back 2 years ago. I think Antonio and Aaron could probably tell you 2 years ago, I was saying, Paldea Evolved. You guys are silly not buying this. This set is great. It's fantastic. It's one of the best sets that I've seen in a really long time. It has a lot of chase cards. It's got a lot of good value in it. And it was like $90 at that point in time. And I said, $90 is a great investment into any of these Scarlet and Violet sets. I think futuristically, they'll look great. I think the Charizard set, Obsidian Flames, that was on at like $85. I said, buy it at $85. Great little investment. It's a Charizard set. Yeah, there's 3 Charizards in it. There's a great chase. Overall, Paldea Evolved, definitely really good. And that was one of the things, we liked it back then. I thought it was really good. I have always seen potential in a lot of this stuff, and sometimes it just takes the rest of the hobby time to get around, or something to finally just shove them over the edge to get them started. And that's where we kind of were when it came down to Scarlet and Violet, and that's what happens a lot of times when we do these era crossovers. Blitzkrieg, No, I know I only bought into 3 cases of ETBs when they were at $30 in ETB. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad anytime, especially our Sword and Shield. $30 in ETB is pretty good. Some of the early stuff for Scarlet and Violet was around $30 in ETB. I mean, you get it from a distributor for around $32. Some people were trying to get rid of it because they sold at release and then they had extras and they were selling them at $30 just to get them off their inventory. Antonio, I don't know why Celebrations had a spike in price, but starting to fall a bit recently. Yeah, I think it got hyped. A lot of channels were talking about it. Channels like Team Rocket Joey were talking about it and pushing Celebrations really, really heavy. There's also been a couple other channels that have been really pushing Celebrations. I mean, hot and heavy pushing Celebrations. And I think that you're going to probably see a little bit of retract. I think the hype is starting to die down on that one a little bit again. Do I think Celebrations is a good investment? Yeah, it's a Celebration set. I mean, it's an anniversary set. I think it'll do long-term, futuristically. It's just going to continually set a great gain. Some of the cards in it just aren't going to do very well. Some of them are going to do extremely well. It is what it is. I think Celebrations is, no offense, I think it was kind of a lazy set when it came down to Pokemon. They could have definitely done a lot of things. Generations, to me, is a lot better set, in my opinion. I really like Generations. And the Generations artwork, the set, what they did in that concept was really, really good. I feel that I've said that when it first came out, Celebrations was a lazy set. They did very little work onto that set. They did very little artwork to that set. They literally just pulled original arts, did no artworks on half the set. Made it extremely, extremely small. No real additions to it except for the generational change cards. I always said the promo cards were probably some of the best cards in that set, just because of the fact that they took them and moved them around, like Zacian X, and doing the light toxicity, and doing these generational shifts that these cards were never even around for, and they actually went back and created them, which was really, really cool to do that kind of flashback back and forth to moving these things around. Dragapult X and, cards that Pokemon that didn't even exist in those eras, and they made cards for them, which I think was really cool. Souls and Ghosts, thank you so much for joining in. Glad to see you here. I missed you before, but sorry about that. Brandon says Celebrations is one of the least favorite sets. It was a very lazy yeah, that's exactly what I said. It was a very lazy set. Honestly, for a Celebration set, it was extremely lazy. They literally did very little. I mean, they literally made 25 arts. 25. That's all that they did, and then whatever promo. So probably a total of 34 artworks for that whole set. I personally love it. I played okay, yeah, he got another comment back there. So he says, I personally loved it, and we're talking about the generational switch. I played the SV Switch game and loved them, even with all of their bugs. That's why I fell in love with it. Terrapagos and Curlage are my 2 favorite Paldea. See, I haven't played the Paldea game at all. I've played, the actual card game, the actual TCG, but I've not played the online game. My son has. My son loves it. I know that he really enjoys it, but I have not actually personally played Scarlet or Violet at this point in time. I played Sword and Shield a little bit, and that was the last time that I did anything. Is Champion's Path ever going to grow? Been stagnant for years and years and years. Champion's Path has had some surges in their pricing. It's the problem is it's just kind of a misplaced set. So right now, $130. So it's just kind of been up because I know 1 year. So let's pull the 1 year chart. Because I do know at the beginning of the year, it was just at about $100. So, I mean, it's up about $30. I think you're just going to see that consistent growth on it. The value of the Charizards in it has gone down a little bit as well, which is kind of also going to hamper its performance. So instead of them being, right around that $200, they were around $300 mark at one point. Why did it do that? So, but I think that's the other thing is that I think as the value, I'm just pulling it up real quick. Once again, I like to verify pricing before I just give them to you, just to make sure that I'm not, giving you guys some false information that you're going to use as information later. So, for example, the Charizard from it, so the Rainbow Charizard for the Secret Rare in there, down to $155 when that was actually having really good growth when it was at like nearly $280. The Charizard and the Charizard VMAX and V were both kind of fighting right there back and forth at about that $300 mark, but now we've seen kind of a pullback on that value, and so thus we've kind of seen the box dying a little bit when it comes down to its value as well. So the Charizard V is actually still about $221 right now. So I think that's going to hamper it. Those Charizards have got to start to perform. So you're looking at $155 for the VMAX, and you're looking for $221 for the V. But if you look at it, the Charizard alternate art from Brilliant Stars right now is $232 right now. So there's a lot more value in it. Okay, so we're gonna go back up here. Also, it's basically, we talked about the reprint and all that. The Umbreon Gold Star, really, really good. Souls of Ghosts. Why is someone talking about the set numbers on the leaked Mega Charizard EX SAR? It's numbered up to like 94. When is the last English main set numbered that low? Shrouded Fable was pretty low. There's been quite a few of them that have been numbered that low. That's why some people speculate that that's not a real card, is because 94 seems extremely low. Could be a specialty set. We could be seeing that with a lot of secret rares in it too. So even though that card is 90, if the numbered up to 94, then you could have a lot more secret rares too. Just because it's a Charizard doesn't mean it's the end of the secret rare line. We could be doing a specialty set, maybe closer to like Black and White, where you're doing a lot of them. I don't know. Or they're going to split the set again. Are they going to do another double set someplace? I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of low actually, even compared to the sets that would normally be out there. You're right. And that's where a lot of speculation goes. Is that actually the artwork? We're not sure yet. So it's going to be a little bit to see what's going to roll out on that and if that's actually going to be it. Have they released that set in Japanese yet? I was going to look. I've been way behind on looking at Japanese set. Once again, I don't like talking out my butt, so I got Google. We're going to use Google. Because I don't know if they released any of the art yet for that set. Let's see, we've got the mega sets. Just looking. Yeah, no, we don't have anything at this point in time that I can see. Mega Brave. That's the current one out there, and that was released in August. Sorry, I'm just doing a quick little research real quick, so I make sure I got all my stuff. I know that they've kind of announced it, but I don't know if have they released that in Japan yet. I don't see anything for the release yet on it. So I don't think it's been released in Japan yet either, so we don't have any confirmations on any of that artwork yet at this point in time. So yeah, the numbers, we have had low number sets. I mean, Celebrations, Shrouded Fable. We've had previous sets that are specialty sets. An actual main set, that would be an extremely low. I mean, you'd be going back to like base set, Fossil Jungle, were all under 100s. Those are the last sets that were that low. So, I mean, there's been a couple in between, very, very few and far in between. Usually specialty sets are that low. But once again, are they doing a ton of like secret rare, illustrator rare versions, secret illustrator rare versions? Could be just 90, you know, there might be 90 main like common, uncommon, and rares, and then everything else is like secret rare. And so that's kind of like Japanese sets. The secret rares are just through the roof. So you got a ton of them when it comes down to it. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens when it pans out at this point in time. Blitzkrieg, that's not true. Full confirmed, I think. I like both battle styles, and I don't know which one in Blitzkrieg you're talking about. That is not full. It is not fully confirmed, I think. Yeah, I think you're talking about when we were talking about Destin's Rival. None of it's been fully confirmed yet. Hamburger Ron, welcome on in. I missed ya. Thank you so much for joining in. I like both battle styles and Vivid Voltage booster boxes right now, and their current price points. I think they're both good. They're going to be consistent growth. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is that you can get in on a Sword and Shield set at a rather, you know, easy walk-in at this point in time, and that's also going to create an opportunity to just kind of get some good steady growth. We want one of those conservative, just going to continue to go up in price battle styles. Vivid Voltage, Champion's Path, those kind of sets are going to give you that, I feel, comparatively to a lot of other ones. Let's see. So I already went through. Subscribe, everyone, please. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're joining us right now. Horizon, here's a weird product thought. Yeah, I just talked about those. I'm going to open those. I don't know. Those just came through on Pokemon Center, so maybe some people got in on those ones. I went through this. Yep, already talked to that. Already Blitzkrieg answered him on that. Thank you so much for the response to that as well. Or trade credit for something better, like an Evolving Skies booster box. Yeah, I can always do that. Case of collection, keep them sealed. Yeah, we talked about that. I'm just going through what we've already gone through. Stoner Cat, our price is going down yet. I'm not buying until then. Yes, like I said, some things are starting to, and we're going to see more of it. Xavier says, do you think Pokemon Center should release more merch bundles like the Prismatic Evolutions, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, Espeon Pin, and Espeon Plushie? Would it have impact on scalping? I don't think it'll have any effect on scalping in general. I think that, once again, for the price of it, even if they paid the extra money for it, they're still way ahead, way up in value. Oscar, thank you so much for dropping in, or thanks for the subscription as you joined in. But yeah, when it comes down to those bundles, if the price is like, if that was going to like kill the price of that booster bundle, so if you were to go from the $55 to $79, I think it was like $60 or $65, but it's still selling at $110, $100, it's not enough. But futuristically, if you were to say it dropped down to 85, it dropped down to 80, and you were charging $70 for that booster bundle, yeah, it would probably reduce scalpers. It's not going to reduce people, these investor bros that are 100% set on some of these sets. For example, if you're looking at the $90, so they're $90 for the bundle, but the investor bros are still going to buy that up at $90. Number one, they feel like it's a good value. They feel like that in 5 years they're going to do well. And the other part of it is too is that they don't want this product floating around. They're trying to collect as much as they can to almost drive that market a little bit. So I think it will, as the pricing gets closer. You know, some of these bundles were more and less, but I think that what you're going to see is that it'll work for sometimes. Some of the people aren't going to get them, but some people aren't going to care. They're just going to spend the money knowing it's going to get valued futuristically. It's going to stop scalpers, not going to stop investors. It's not going to stop collectors. It's not going to stop the people buying it to open it, because they can get it for $90 and get some extra stuff. Hey, they're still $10 under the current market, $20 under the current market, and they're doing well. Let's see. Sonar Cat, that's good. I was hoping reprints would happen. We're getting some. Brandon, they will. I believe this Mega Block will get an adjustment in printing because of how SB did. So far, we did not get an adjustment in reprint. Originally, our allocations did not get any change. I think some of our allocations increased by like 5%. from what we had gotten previously, but a lot of that I think is because some people's capital is getting limited, so they don't have as much money to put into it. So allocations were actually almost identical to the Scarlet and Violet up until they announced a reprint of booster boxes. So the booster boxes is the change that we haven't had a reprint of any booster boxes since like the end of Sword and Shield, and now all of a sudden the mega set's already got one coming. Let's see. We're getting down to the end here, but we're going to have to call our quits. My wife's going to come pounding on the door pretty quick here. Like, hey, time for you to spend time with me. Stop spending time with your friends. Horizon, would you still be buying Sword and Shield booster boxes at these current price levels, or realistically put money elsewhere in products that haven't seen growth yet? Either A, you look for products that haven't seen growth yet or have been really slow, or will be consistent growth items, or you kick over and start going after like products such as Scarlet and Violet, the mega set, something that's a little bit less of a price point and that you might be able to get at MSRP, or, you know, if you can get those pre-orders and things like that at MSRP, you're going to have more potential growth on these sets than you will on some of the Sword and Shield. I think Sword and Shield sets are still going to do well. I don't think that, even if you were to buy into them at this point in time, I don't think they're a bad buy. I just think that there may be some things, unless you pick the right set, may do better than some of the Sword and Shield stuff percentage-wise year over year for the next couple years. So if you're looking at something that you want to have better cost dollar opportunity into, some of this newer stuff is going to be more volatile, a little bit more opportunity, but on the other hand, you're also taking more risks. So it's a crapshoot, right? You're going to take your chances, and sometimes you're going to jump in and take that value, get in on a Sword and Shield booster box and know that you get the security of, number one, you're not going to be getting any more reprints of that particular box. Number two, you know that you're going to get the security of the value of it continuing to go up in price. And number three, there's probably going to be nothing except for a complete and total devastating crash of Pokemon International and the Pokemon Company that's going to drive those prices downwards by any percentages that are dangerous to your overall investment. So I think that that's a real question. Brandon says, I bought one of each and the alternate art sets from Sword and Shield at 100 and 110 2 years ago. Evo was 250. I'm glad I got them when I did. Yeah, they're like I said, everything in the older stuff is definitely going to continue to go up in value. Blitzkrieg, well, the thing is that demand is high. Even with reprints, everyone is wanting to get into Pokemon, and the new people getting into the hobby for profit are buying a product at these new highs. They are. And that's where they're going to get in trouble, is if we do get a massive amount of reprints. That's what's going to stifle this. That's what's going to stop the scalpers, when you get scalpers stuck with where they can't sell stuff. That's when you finally will stifle this and actually start to drop it and cause the market to kind of collapse and cave in on itself, is when you get them scalpers stuck to where they can't sell stuff. We need to get to that point. We got a potential, if there is things changing, that we could see that. Supa Thinka, thank you so much for joining in. I had to say it that way. I've noticed during vending, it's hard to offload collection boxes for even below market. Openers are sleeping on it, and investors have no interest in it. The problem is with collection boxes is, once again, if you're buying them, you're gonna tear them down. Futuristically, I think that they'll do well, and I think that the reason that they'll do well is because of the fact that everybody tears them down, because there's just a lot of airspace. So, for example, let's just take, for example, I'll just pull a Zapdos box. You know, it's a perfect example of just air. Realistically, what inside of this box is going to have value, you know, if you're... Oh, ticked it off. The dude's so good, camera. But look at, you know, you look at this particular box. What, you've got 4 packs of... What is going on with the camera? It does not like the Zapdos box. Stop scaring it. But you're getting really 4 packs of, you know, 151 in here. But this is a huge box for 4 packs of 151. And the value of this box is all based on the 4 packs inside of it. I mean, realistically, the big card and the 2 other cards don't really have much for value or, you know, benefit comparatively to the actual packs. So the price right now, Evolving Skies, is roughly, what, $12 a pack? And I know those Zapdos EX boxes, I believe, sell for like $48 right now, $49. So basically, you're buying it price per pack, so why would people keep those up? As an investor myself, I don't usually keep those because those are for sale. But collection boxes, I'd rather break it down the packs, like Pokeballs. I mean, number one, they damage packs, but number two, they take up a lot of space and they're just air. I'm not looking for airspace. You don't want airspace when you're looking at investment. Just wasted space. Let's see. Just dropped to the bottom. Where are we? So we had Brandon came out. It died fast when SV came out. I personally love it. I played the SV Switch game and love them, even with all the bugs. Yeah, did that one. Celebrations, yes, was Lazy Set. We talked about that. Champion's Path, we talked about that. Legends Arceus, I played Legends Arceus. My son has that one. I enjoyed Legends Arceus. It was a lot of fun. I still, whenever I get the Switch, I do play it. My kids three kids are always fighting over the Switch, so I gave up trying to even use it. I got one full case of Fusion Strike for $30 each. Still holding. Great little grab on those ETBs. I guarantee that I'm betting those are ETBs at $30 a piece. Still not bad. Yeah, it's 90 shaker heads. They jumped on MTD collection boxes. Yes, a lot of people did. Jay, welcome on in. A lot of high-end sports cards investors are jumping out and going to Pokemon. The repacks are keeping sports cards alive. Low end for dropping. Yeah, and I've been seeing that a lot too, and that's one of the issues we have from distribution as well, is that these guys have multiple distribution sources, and basically what they do is that they are buying Pokemon, which is why our allocations are so low. They're not printing. I always hear, and Team Rocket Joey says that a lot of these other guys say that don't have distribution. You can tell the guys that don't have distribution. I'm going to tell you why. Because the guys that say that they're printing, that they printed more in early sets of Scarlet and Violet than they do now, and that they're printing less. And that's an absolute falsehood. Absolute false. Distributors, MJ Holding will flat out tell you, if you talk to them, that they're getting the exact same amount. From Scarlet and Violet base to Destin's Rivals, and even all the way through, every main set has gotten the exact same print rate, which is the problem. I mean, that's a big part of the problem, is that they are getting the exact same print rate. So when more people came in and there was more demand for Sword and Shield or for Scarlet and Violet product, they haven't printed anymore. They haven't increased the print rate, which is why allocations became tighter, and the people with more money, bigger accounts got more product, but everybody got cut because more products came online. They brought more people in like last year because they couldn't get rid of crap. So they were intentionally bringing in people that were like street vendors and things like that, and started allowing them to purchase product because there was plenty of it. I mean, like I said, Obsidian Flames booster bundles, I bought those in November of 2024. So they sat for over a year and a half without anybody wanting them. But when things changed and the market changed, Pokemon hasn't increased, and we haven't seen an increase yet. The first Mega set looks like we're going to see the first increase of booster boxes, and it's a reprint that's coming in December, not even on the original print run. They were going to keep the print run the same for the Mega set, so they're not really changing much at this point in time. So it hasn't changed. There hasn't been a lot of changes at this point in time. Welcome on in, Matt S. Hopefully we will see things. People that don't have distribution keep saying that they're printing less. They've printed less. You can ask Danny Phantom. I'm sure you can ask Pokey. You can ask a lot of people that have distribution that talk to the distributor reps quite often and have a relationship with them, and they'll all pretty much tell you the exact same thing, that there has been no change in print rates, no increase, which is the problem. But there has been no decrease either. Let's see here. Oscar, thank you so much for joining in here. Waiting for Mega. Wait for Mega or buy more DR at 290. Nah, that's a crapshoot. Mega's going to go down in value with another booster box reprint. So if you're looking at booster boxes, you're definitely going to have probably better chances of getting some cheaper Mega booster boxes. It just depends on the print rate and how things, I don't want to say print rate, but it just depends on how the demand is for the Mega set, especially the first one. The second one is the one I'm more interested in, to be 100% honest, even from an investment aspect. The Gengar Charizard set is definitely going to be a hotter set than the first one. I mean, Gardevoir, Lucario, really, really good fan favorite Pokemon, but in general will not be as sought after as a Charizard and a Gengar. That's just my opinion, but I honestly, truly do believe in that opinion. Pokemon is more liquid. I forgot which sports person said that. Pokemon is a lot more liquid from every sports guy I've ever heard of. And when the market's hot, it can go the other way fairly quickly as well. Jay, the sports cards people see the crowds of Pokemon people, and the young crowd is going to buy this when they turn 30. More young sports kids have left, smaller, and they have. I know a lot of kids like me. I was into sports cards in the 90s. I have no interest in sports cards at my age. I've not had any interest in going back to them. My son has no interest in sports cards whatsoever. And to be 100% honest, I think the fact is that the viewing of sports is decreasing anyways, because people are losing interest in sports. Kids would rather play Pokemon on their tablet or on their, Game Boy or whatever, the Switch at this point in time. They would rather play Pokemon than actually sitting there and watching sports. My kids actually went to their first baseball game, and to be honest with you, I thought that might spark them to want to do more, because I've offered, and they're just like, yeah, well, maybe next year. They're not interested. I went to a baseball game when I was a kid. I was hooked. I mean, I went to a lot of baseball games, and I've even kind of lost interest in it over years. But it's definitely going to be a factor for sports cards. Do I think that there are going to be Pokemon cards, that are going to outpace sports cards? I don't know if you're going to see any Pokemon cards necessarily beat some of the bigger sports cards for price, but I think the demand for them is going to continue to increase for Pokemon, just because kids like game consoles, kids like video games. They're in it, they're immersed in it, and sports is just on TV, and there's getting to be a lot of drama. It's not there's a lot of things that are going on there as well. So yeah, I think I could see that. I could see Jay's position on that one for sure. Supermax, buy Blooming Waters now or wait and see if I can catch a drop. It's a very difficult to get for MSRP. Yeah, it's really hard to get at MSRP. You probably were a little bit behind it right now, because they were about $100 there probably about 4 weeks ago. The only thing that sucks about Blooming Waters is shipping it. So it's better to try and get it from your Sam's Club, because they got free shipping on anything over $25. So that's where your value is going to come in. The shipping kills you, because it's like almost $20 to ship that thing, which really, really sucks. Like, I was going to buy some from distribution, and the distributor literally called me and said, hey, bud, it's going to cost you $100 to ship these 12 boxes of Blooming Waters over to you. And it's like, well, okay, so I got to pay $100 for the things, and yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked, chat. You got to pay $100 to ship the thing. So yeah. That's the one thing that sucks, is if you can get them on a reprint or catch them in person, you're definitely gonna be better off. Hey Mason, how you doing? Troy, King of the Ozone, thank you so much for being in here as well. Wow, people are just cruising on in tonight. Richard Burns, thank you so much for being in here as well. I got you, Pokemon TCG. Welcome on into the chat. Oscar says, and how often do LCSs get booster boxes after the initial drop? I haven't been able. I got Surging Sparks after drop. But that's the last booster box that I've gotten extra since Temporal Forces. Temporal Forces, we were able to. You could buy those ones all the way up until Surging Sparks release. But other than that, yeah, that was the last time that I was able to get them after drop. Now, since Surging Sparks, no. Surging Sparks is the last one I actually got booster boxes after the reprint. So other than that, no, nothing else. Richard Burns says, I'm collecting at my own pace. I like the collect products that nobody wants. Something like a 2-pack or a 3-pack blister and promos. I don't care what set as long as there's variety. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, if you collect at your own pace, the nice thing about Pokemon, you don't need to rush. You can just enjoy it and take your time, do what you want, and keep building your own collections at your own pace. There's no reason that you need to rush on things. Been cooked since Surging Sparks. We've been burnt since Surging Sparks. We've gone past cooked. We are completely toasted at this point in time. Pokemon TCG, what's up, Andy in Northwoods Hanger Gang? I have been selling my Evolving Skies loose packs, sleeved, and checkout lane blisters, cashing out and moving the money into 151 Crown, Prismatic, and Destin. I don't think that's the worst idea. I mean, I wouldn't sell booster boxes. You know, I'd keep back some of it, but definitely a good time to reinvest on some of that, because some of that is going to start to slow down in price. I mean, it's getting way out there. You know, some of it is a lot of hype and just people pushing it and continuing to push it, and that's what we got going on with Evolving Skies for like the booster boxes. Jay, yeah, Pokemon is liquid, and anything over 100 for repackers is liquid for sports. Interesting. Blitzkrieg, hey man, you got collection boxes. I'll buy, LOL. Below market, I'm down. I agree. Wife's going to cut the Wi-Fi. There's a chance. All of a sudden, I just disappear. You know what happened. Xavier, I feel like it's almost equivalent to sleeve boosters in terms of having untampered, unweighed packs. Collection boxes, that is. Yeah, it can be. But realistically, let's look futuristically. Who's going to care? If 151, you know, if you were to go and buy this collection box right now for $12, you pull the packs out of them, you put them in a box, look at any single pack out there right now that's over 4 years old and tell me where the price is compared to when you would have bought it out of the collection boxes. If I were to rip that down, yeah. Could I get a premium maybe for that collection box? Yes. How much space did that collection? I mean, you look at this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had 11 boxes. I had 11 boxes, so I got 11 boxes of Surging, or 151 sitting right here. So we got 11 boxes. There's 44 packs. It takes up this much space. This much of space is taken up. So, I mean, that's almost 2 foot of space in order for me to store those collection boxes for 44 packs. If I were to go through and I got a box right here, and inside of this box are over 400 packs of Pokemon cards in a 2 foot box. Why would I take up 2 foot of space that is, you know, a foot deep when for the same space I can fit 10 times as many packs? So you're looking at the space, the real estate of those boxes become the issue with collection boxes, is the amount of real estate that you have to have. Yes, they look cool. Would I keep a couple? Yeah, I've got a couple of every single one through Sword and Shield, like V boxes. I got the V boxes from, what were they? The starter ones that have, I got the starter versions that have Cosmic Eclipse still in them, with like the Alakazam box and the Hatterini box. I have all those ones back. I keep some of them because they are really cool. I like the V boxes. I think that they're well done, but they do take up a ton of real estate. And if you're looking at a long-term, you know, investment deal and you're trying to maximize your space, collection boxes are a very bad investment for space. You're better off tearing them down. Let's see. iFOMO. They just posted Nike shoe models on Bandai's website that you can assemble yourself. So that's really odd. Done with schoolwork. Well, congratulations, iFOMO. Good feeling to be done with that. We have Blitzkrieg. I got 3 D21 Poketins. I found them at TJ Maxx 3 years ago. That D21, what? That's got Cosmic Eclipse in it, doesn't it? Or is that C21? One of those, one of the 21 tins I know has Cosmic Eclipse inside of it. I don't remember which one though. Tony, King of the Ozone. It's me. I'm the one buying a bunch of Prizzy under $100. Yeah, I'm just watching it. Like I said, we were just kind of chilling here, and as we're watching, you know, as we're sitting here talking, as the world turns, I'm going back to it real quick. So the Prismatic, let's see, have any more sold since we've talked? Nope, we just sold 1, 2, 4, 5 more, and even one at $100. So we've sold 5 more of them just while we're sitting here. So they're just continually selling. If they're under $100, even to 100, they're gone. Pokemon TCG. Oh, my phone hands are big, messing around with text too. That's all right. Super Maz, thank you so much for joining. Buying Blooming Mars. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. It's just the price of shipping them is just so expensive. Hey, Agent Crypto question. It seems like Hidden Fates ETBs at 400 might be a play. It has a unique promo selling for $300 to $400 in a PSA 10. Thoughts? Really difficult to get a 10. Number one. Number two, Hidden Fates is just another one. It's at the point in its life where there's probably not going to be any major, like, huge jumps in it at this point in time. If there haven't been, the chances of it happening at this point in time are very slim. $400, but if you look for even since beginning of July, there really hasn't been any change in price, about $10 difference. If you were to get into it a year ago at like $200, then yeah, you'd be really good at that point. 175. It sat at 175 for between 150 and 200 for like 2 years. So I mean, it kind of stagnates and then it gets a jump. It stagnates, it gets a jump. Next baby shiny set might see it jump again. That might be the next catalyst for it to go. That's what it seems like. Looking at the chart, right when Paldean Fates started getting hot, we saw it go up a little bit. Went from 188 to 311, and then of course now we just got another jump up to another $100. So it may go up more, but Hidden Fates is one of them sets. It may stagnate for a long period of time as well. Horizon, my target here, just recently had over 100 blooming water boxes on the shelf at a restock. Yeah, so if you can get them without paying shipping and get them at MSRP, definitely a win. Trying to sit there and purchase them online, the shipping is going to kill you on those boxes. That's what really gets people on those particular items. Again, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button and hit the subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. We've had over 300 people in this live tonight, so greatly appreciate it to everybody that's been here. So maybe more are coming. It could be. We might see through the holiday season horizon. That would be my last chance. I would think this would be your last hurrah. If we get through the holiday season, and that was where we'd get more blooming waters if it's going to happen. All right, so we're going to call it quits right now. And Nico's store here. So I'm going to go. If there's any other questions here, I'm in Cooks and Surging Sparks. Yeah, amazing. We're cooked, chat. We're done. Long run, buying all these sleeves. Yeah, D21 had Cosmic Eclipse. That's what I thought. So D21 is a Cosmic Eclipse. Yeah, Super Mods, not a problem. So here we go. Last one for the day. We got, what do you feel like is the most underrated sealed product that you would be buying? Underrated right now. Last week. I haven't really been looking too much this week. A couple weeks ago we were talking about Brilliant Stars. I felt was pretty, trying to get it to come up. Brilliant might help if I could spell right. So Brilliant Stars was actually a little bit behind at one point. Now I think it's actually probably caught up because it was starting to move up pretty fast. Brilliant Stars. So let's go here. High to low. Yeah, it was Brilliant. Brilliant was really underrated. I mean, it's still only about 511, but you're looking at about $600 now. So that one's jumping up fairly quickly. If you were to be patient and dig around, you'd probably find it a little bit cheaper than that as well out there in the market right now. Lost Origins pretty well out of there. Silver Tempest is probably one of them that I've been watching too. I'm going back Sword and Shield because right now, there's a lot of going to be a lot of moving around with the new prints coming out. So Silver Tempest right now. So I'm looking at Sword and Shield a lot of times too. $430 for that particular box. You're still under $450 for a Silver Tempest box. I think that's probably one of the ones that's still underrated in the Sword and Shield block. That Lugia is starting to get a little bit more push behind it as well. The other one that's kind of always forgotten about is Astral Radiance as well. $375 right now for an Astral Radiance box. Once again, it's kind of come down in price over the last few months, which is kind of interesting for a Sword and Shield box. It's the only box that's had any kind of retraction on it. It was up to about 412, and now it's down to about 366. So right now, if I was going to pick any kind of box right now that I'd be willing to put money into, if I didn't have, would be Astral Radiance, just because of that. I think Astral Radiance is probably one that's going with the retraction. I think there's a little bit of an opportunity, which I think it's going to still do well and keep pace overall. Yeah, Astral Radiance, I think, is probably the most underrated. Silver Tempest would be right behind it. The Lugia is starting to catch traction. More and more people are interested in that Lugia, which will really help with that overall. Yeah, Horizon. Are you doing any collabs soon with any other content creators in the hobby? I was just talking to Mason. I got to get a hold of Mason, see maybe with him. I've been trying to get another one with another person here. I got to talk to him and see if we can set it up. That one's kind of a surprise one that I've been working on for a while, but it's been hard for us to kind of get a good time frame for both of us. So I'm still working on another one. There are some collabs that I do want to work on here that I want to try and set up. Civic says, "Hey Civic, how you doing?" Yeah, Astro's most underrated. I might buy into Astro Horizon. Any chance we see Evolving Skies reach 20k a booster box years down the line? Once again, probably 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, you still look at it, though. Team Rocket boxes are barely at 20. You know, last time it took them how long? Almost 25 years for Team Rocket box and some of the original boxes to get to 20k. So a lot of things have got to happen in line. I think that the problem that you're going to have is with that particular set, I'm trying to think. Best way I can look at it is you go back to a Team Rocket set and you go back to a Team Rocket booster box or anything like that. The biggest thing you gotta look at is, so $30,000 for a first edition Team Rocket box, just to give you an idea on that. And then the last sold Team Rocket box on TCG Player, which has been a long time, was at $17,000. So first edition, and we don't have first edition boxes, so those are pretty much out. Those were 30. Unlimited print was about $17,000 currently. So the problem is that you got to think of too, though, is that anything in Team Rocket comparatively on the grading side of things is going to be extremely limited compared to anything in the Evolving Skies. So a lot of times, even like base set and all these other boxes, what really drives the price is now the grading factor of some of these cards, the grading availability of cards inside of there to increase your value from that booster box, because people may want it for display, but I think it's going to be really hard to justify paying $20,000 for a booster box when there's 100,000 PSA 10 Umbreon sitting out there that are only valued at like $7 to $8 grand. So what's the value of your best card and a PSA 10 being under the value of the booster box? So that's going to be the one downside that I don't think a lot of people are looking at when you're trying to think of a booster box keeping up with even base set, Team Rocket, Chim Challenge, all of those original boxes, even Neo and all these original boxes, is the fact that nobody graded back then. The gradability of cards didn't exist back then, and so what is going to drive the value of that box up that high when there isn't something in it to give you value to do so? You're going to have a card in there that's going to have that value that's not graded to death, which even some of the commons and uncommons at this point are getting graded to death at this point in time. So, all right, I've got to call it quits. Horizon, you're going to be the last one. That's it. We're going to call it good. Glad to hear you're doing good, Civic. Glad to have you in the chat as always. Andy, a lot of boosters are still available in UK on Pokemon Center, Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift, which makes their any state side. So those could be some good pickups for Scarlet and Violet. Yeah, they definitely could be. If you're still got availability of those on Pokemon Center at MSRP, then yeah, I mean, you got some really good value right now. Kind of interesting the UK isn't seeing that kind of growth and that kind of change when it comes down to the keeping up that you can get stuff on Pokemon Center, because it does not exist here. It's gone the day that it's released here. So we have no opportunity for that here. But yeah, definitely good pickups. Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces, both in the United States. You can almost buy them right now in the UK and flip them to the United States on our market if you had them pay the shipping, and probably sell them. Because Paradox Rift right now, what's a Paradox Rift booster box going for? That was way behind, and that's already $234. So if you could buy it at MSRP there, you could flip it right now for almost $100, $80 profit right now from the UK, minus your shipping. Not saying that you should scalp your own thing, but I'm just putting it out there as, you know, value-wise, if you can get them at MSRP, why wouldn't you? Thoughts on the Darkrai Premium Collection boxes long term? Got them for $20 each on Black Friday 2 years ago. Hold on to them. I think that they're really they're just a collection box. I mean, I got a couple of them too from that Black Friday. I thought they were kind of a cool little box, so I've stored a couple of them. But yeah, once again, packs inside of them are definitely probably going to hold more of a premium than the actual box itself, futuristically. So, all right, my wife is texting me now, so thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We still got 50 people in the live. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. These are the videos we need, the lives we need to really grow the channel, which is greatly appreciated for everybody that's joined in this evening. And also, make sure you guys check out the channel membership. I do put that out there. A great way to support the channel is do the channel membership, or I don't have it on tonight, but go ahead and check out the channel merch in the link tree as well. Another great way to get some nice merch that we have there for you guys, and then also support the channel as well. So some really good opportunities to help us out as we continue to grow and push things here on Northwoods TCG. Otherwise, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and hopefully you guys have a fantastic weekend coming up as well. We got a holiday weekend here in the United States. Gonna have a little bit of R&R, maybe an extra day for some people. Hopefully you do get that off for yourselves. Otherwise, make sure you guys check us out Friday. We'll be live here at our Rip and Ship for Friday and Sunday, 9 p.m. Central Time to 11. A lot of fun. We just sit down and talk Pokemon, open packs, enjoy the night, see if we can get some good hits throughout the night, and just enjoy each other's company. So otherwise, thank you guys. Thanks Blix Creek. Thank you Antonio and everybody else. My mod that's been hanging out with us, Verizon. Thank you for all the great questions. Pokemon TCG for the questions as well, and everybody else that had good comments and stuff inside the chat. It's greatly appreciated. It helps the live go along, and definitely has a lot of fun and good conversation when it comes down to where we are currently in the Pokemon TCG. Otherwise, hopefully you guys will have a fantastic week, and we will see you next time here